Wes Craven was the amazing mind and director behind Scream 1 through 4, but sadly passed away in 2015. After his passing, no new Scream movies were expected to come out, but Matt Bettinelli and Tyler Gillett took over as directors, and James Vanderbilt and Guy Busick took over as the writers, with Kevin Williamson still adding his 2 cents. These people, along with the rest of production, surprised us Scream fans with another entry to the Scream franchise. But it's not Scream 5, it's just Scream. That is because this isn't just a sequel, but a requel, just like other franchises were doing at the time, such as Halloween and Candyman. Except Scream takes its own approach to the idea of a requel, with it having a brand new set of main characters, but also being a sequel as it ties back to the characters and plots of the movies before it, while also continuing the storylines with those characters. Spoilers incoming, ladies and gentlemen, and this movie is actually pretty new, so go watch it for yourself if you haven't already. But today, I'll be telling y'all why Scream is the greatest requel of all time. This movie begins with a phone call, just like Scream 1996, but instead of Casey Beckers, it's Tara Carpenter answering this time.
Is Christina there?
What the fuck? That don't sound like Ghostface though. However, tones then switch for the audience when he asks his infamous question.
What's your favorite scary movie?
And Tara answers with probably the most random movie of all time, The Babadook. Really, Tara? Babadook? A very hard watch with 2 of the most annoying protagonists of all time. Interesting. Ghostface then brings up Stab, and Tara isn't too familiar with the movies while she recreates a shot from Scream 1996. Ghostface gets scary and starts toying with Tara, saying he will kill her friend Amber after he took her phone and sent Tara a video of her from outside her window. He then asks for her to play a game with Stab trivia questions, but she would rather talk about It Follows, Hereditary, or The Witch. But come on, Tara, this is motherfucking Ghostface. We talking about Stab whether you like it or not. She cheats on the test with Google, but still fails. Ghostface is now gonna kill Amber, so Tara grabs a knife to go save her, but once she opens the door, someone's already there. And unlucky for Tara, it ain't no damn trick-or-treaters. Ghostface stabs Tara in the stomach, and she fucking Mike Tyson's his ass. Good work, Tara. She fights with Ghostface to keep the door locked before getting jump scared by a phone call. It's Ghostface and he's in the fucking house. She gets stabbed in the stomach and then she gets the Paul Sheldon treatment and then stabbed through the fucking hand. Brutal. She gets stabbed a few more times before we are reminded what movie we're watching before cutting to Modesto, California over a banger-ass SZA song where we meet Sam and, ew, drugs.
Your boner pills.
Oh, in that case, I'll take a few of them. She's with her boyfriend Richie when she gets a call from Wes Hicks about her sister Tara's attack. And she's alive? What the fuck? No way she ain't dead. What a badass. With this news, Sam and Richie head to the hospital to tend to Tara. We then see our new requel crew at Woodsboro High. We got Wes Hicks, Amber Freeman, Liv McKenzie, and Chad and Mindy Meeks. Yeah, that's right. They are the niece and nephew of Randy Meeks. Also, Wes Hicks is the son of Deputy Judy Hicks, who is now the sheriff, explaining Wes's lack of bitches.
Pepper spray? Check. Taser? Check.
The crew sees Vince, who is the son of Leslie Mocker, Stu's sister, which makes him the nephew of Stu Mocker. He has been stalking Liv and is just some douchebag 20-year-old dude who likes to prey on high school girls. On the way to the hospital, we learn Richie hasn't seen the Stab movies and accuses them of being a ripoff of Halloween. No, Richie, she said Stab, not Friday the 13th. They arrive to see Tara's friends, which Sam used to babysit, and Tara and Sam catch up since Sam left her in Woodsboro when she turned 18 to get into some drugs and trouble with the police to cope with the fact that her dad up and left them. Later, Tara's friends are at the bar when that motherfucker Vince shows up to cause some trouble, getting everyone kicked out. All that fighting got Vince's bladder full, and while he's taking a leak, hears music and notices his headlights are on, so he turns them off, but when he gets out of the car, is stabbed in the neck and killed by Ghostface. At the hospital, Sam gets a call from Ghostface, who claims he knows her family's secret.
Who is this?
Someone who knows your little family's secret.
Ghostface then pops out and attacks Sam and disappears before the police officer, who is definitely not Dewey, can find him. After almost being killed, Sam decides it is the perfect time to let Tara in on the family secret. She says when she was young, she found her mom's diary, which revealed that Sam's father was not actually her real father, and instead someone else she slept with from high school. Sam confronted her mom about the news, but accidentally allowed her unknowing father to overhear the news, which caused him to abruptly leave the family, and Sam blames herself, hence why she was a troubled kid and left as well. Now, why does this matter? Well,
Those diaries told me who my real father was. It was Billy Loomis.
yeah, that's why she was seeing that motherfucker in the mirror earlier. Ghost Billy hasn't aged a bit. Looking good! Tara gets pissed off and kicks her sister out of the room, and Sam tells Richie to go home, but he's staying. He's not scared of no Ghostface. I mean, after all, it
Sounds a lot like Halloween.
They decide to go to a professional in the Dooster, who is now not married to Gail anymore and lives in a trailer by himself, still missing his ex-wife. And a bit of an alcoholic, it looks like. Oh, poor Dewdrop. At first, Dewey doesn't want Sam and Richie in his trailer, but changes his mind when Sam says who her father is. Dewey tells them rules to surviving a stab movie. Rule number 1, never trust the love interest. Rule number 2, the motive is always connected to the past. And rule number 3, the killer is always part of the first victim's friend group.
Does your sister have a close-knit group of friends?
Dewey kicks Sam and Richie out of his trailer before calling Sydney, who is married to Kincaid now, to tell her the news, and then texts Gail because things are still a bit awkward since they used to,
Holy shit, he came.
He then changes his mind and grabs his gun before following Sam and Richie to the Meeks residence, where Tara's friend group is hanging out around the shrine built in honor of Randy. Here we see Martha Meeks, who is the mother of Mindy and Chad, of course, as she comes to give Dewey a hug. The kids realize the relations they all have with Scream 1996, and that allows Mindy to do her best impression of Randy and point out the fact that they're in a requel.
He's making a requel.
She also names Black Christmas, Child's Play, and Flatliners. She says how legacy characters can die in a requel, and also states the obvious that Sam might be the killer, just like her father, as they blame each other in the friend group. I mean, on her way out, he is all up in her ear trying to peer pressure her and shit.
Cut some fucking throats!
We cut to Judy Hicks, who is leaving to pick up food for her and Wes when she gets a call from Ghostface, who threatens Wes, probably as punishment since she doesn't like scary movies.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I prefer animated films and musicals.
Judy rushes home, but on her way into the house, Ghostface pops out and stabs her in the gut, which causes her to fall down while Ghostface absolutely obliterates her body with a lot of stabs. And I mean a lot. Like, damn, what did Sheriff Hicks do to you, Ghostface? Now we see Wes getting out of the shower while we get pranked a few times with the classic horror jump scare from behind a door. But it never comes. Instead, Ghostface waits until Wes is at the front door for the jump scare. Ghostface then kills Wes with a stab through the throat. Damn. Sam pulls up on the scene and runs into Gail, who... Oh, wowza, Gail. Let's go back a few surgeries. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, but I was really caught off guard when I first saw Gail in this movie, man. Gail sees Dewey and goes to confront him about texting instead of calling.
Text?
Ow!
You tell me the killer is back in a text?
Ow, that hurts.
Good!
We also learn that Dewey left Gail after trying to move to New York City with her for her new job, but he wanted to come back to good old Woodsboro. We see Richie, who is eating pizza and watching one of the greatest YouTubers of all time. Good taste, my man. Sam is calling him to meet her at the hospital after her and Dewey realize no one is there watching Tara and they need to go check up on her. At the hospital, Tara is indeed alone for some reason. I don't know. I've never seen an empty hospital. It makes no sense, but anyway, Tara doesn't want to find out what's lurking, so she tries to get up through, no matter how bad it hurts. On her way out, she discovers a dead officer, so she hides in a closet and hits Richie with a phone when he walks in, referencing the OG.
Mama's boy.
Fucking hit me with the phone, Dick!
But Ghostface appears and stabs Richie before calling Sam while slowly closing in on Tara. However, Sam stalls Ghostface long enough for her and Dewey to arrive on the floor and shoot Ghostface. Guys, next time, let's just use the stairs, alright? They go to leave, but Dewey wants to make sure Ghostface is dead, so he sends everyone away so he can walk over to Ghostface. But before he can shoot, he is sadly stabbed and killed in a very heartbreaking decision by the writers. R.I.P. the Dooster. You will forever be remembered as one of the greatest characters in all of horror. While Gail is mourning the death of her ex-lover, Sydney arrives to comfort her and to protect her family as Ghostface might be coming for her next. Tara and Sam decide they must leave town with Richie to survive, even after Sydney and Gail warn them it's not a good idea.
Whoever this is gonna keep coming for you.
So?
So I want you to help us kill him.
However, on the way, Tara notices her inhaler is gone, so they stop at Amber's house to grab a spare. But when they arrive, notice Amber is throwing a party in honor of Wes Hicks. A party that has a lot of tension, with everyone not exactly sure who to trust with a Ghostface killer on the loose. Sucks for Chad though, because him not trusting Liv forced her to storm out of the party. He then gets a request to share his location with her, so he leaves his sister to watch Stab while he looks for Liv. But instead, he finds Ghostface, and a stab to the leg, and also a lot of stabs to the abs. Hey, call me Eminem. Sam, Tara, and Richie arrive, so Amber shuts down the party to help find the inhaler, with a little help from Richie.
Get the fuck out! Please get the fuck out! Dad, sincerely get the fuck out! Thank you!
This interrupts Mindy's makeout sesh and Stab watch party, so she isn't too excited to join him in getting some beers from the basement, but does respect a reference to her uncle.
I'll be right back.
But why are you getting a beer anyway? Aren't you driving, pal? We cut to Gail and Sydney, who are on the way to the party after they planted a tracking device on Sam's car. In the car, Sydney comforts Gail after she blames all of this murder stuff on herself. However, the comfort ends when Sydney calls Sam to tell her that she is standing in Stu Mocker's house. Yeah, I thought this place looked familiar. Now we see Mindy Meeks recreating the shot with Randy as she tells the actor playing Randy in Stab to turn around as Ghostface is creeping up on him, just like it happened in real life to her uncle as he warned Lori that Michael was creeping up on her, all while Ghostface is creeping up right behind her, if that makes sense. She turns around though to see Ghostface right as Sam saves her with a classic lamp throw. Liv, Richie, Tara, and Amber run in after hearing the commotion, and they start accusing each other. Liv has bloody hands, so that makes her seem sus, but she swears by her innocence and... yeah, I guess she wasn't the killer. Sydney and Gail pull up and they're strapped up too. Okay, Sid, I guess you weren't lying.
I'm Sydney fucking Prescott. Of course I have a gun.
Amber comes outside and shoots Gail in the stomach, so Sid heads into Stu's house all alone. Sam finds Tara in a closet tied up and starts to untie her until she remembers what her boyfriend said earlier and stops.
I think the other killer might be Tara.
What?
She's the one that brought us here, and you two have been estranged for years.
Ghostface calls Sydney, but she's not amused at this point and starts firing into all the doors, and one bullet ends up hitting Richie's leg before Ghostface tackles Sydney, knocking them both over the fancy house railing, giving them an ouchie. As they struggle, Richie goes for the gun on the ground, but when Sam gets it first, he stabs her because, well, he's the other Ghostface.
I really wanted to be the one to kill you.
Amber and Richie reveal they are dating before taking Sam and Sydney into the kitchen, just like the OG Stab or Scream for us. They met each other on the Stab subreddit and are huge fans of the Stab movies. They say they hate how the Stab franchise came to be with the last couple movies, so they want to provide new material for a better movie in the future. They plan on framing Sam since, you know, her dad was Billy. Wait, this might actually work, hold on. They bring Gail into the kitchen and stab Sydney in the gut. Amber goes to grab Tara, but gets whacked by a single crutch. It's Tara in the Ghostface costume. It turns out Sam stuck with her gut and untied her sister earlier. Sam runs away and Richie chases her while Amber fights Sydney and Gail in the kitchen when they break a bottle of hand sanitizer on her face. She strangles Gail and reveals who got the drop on Dewey.
That was the last thing Dewey saw before he died too. I can't believe I get to do you both.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
While the three fight, the stove gets turned on and Gail shoots at Amber, causing her to fall on the stove and get caught on fire. Yeah! That's for you, Dewdrop. Upstairs, Sam and Richie are fighting, and while on the ground, Sam gets some help from her father.
Face mask?
Because you're the villain.
And while Richie is on top of her screaming all crazy-eyed and shit, Sam stabs him through the cheek and then stabs him once or twice. Or damn, Sam, I think you got him. Hey, at least we can't complain about double tap. She finishes him off with a throat slit and the classic Ghostface knife wipe. Sid reminds us the killer always come back, but that's no problem for Sam as she hits him with the headshot. But here comes Amber all burned up and shit before we get another headshot, but this time from Tara.
I still prefer the Babadook.
No, Tara, we talked about this already. Police and paramedics arrive as we see the Meeks twins survived with a double thumbs up. The movie ends with a slow zoom out of the scene at Stu Macher's old house, just like the original. Rest in peace, Wes Craven. Thank you for greatness. This movie is easily one of my favorite Scream movies. I feel it works very well in the franchise. It really sucks that they killed Dewey, but I feel that was a decision that makes this movie feel real, and it abides with the rules of a requel. I also liked seeing Sidney and Gale again, and even though they didn't have too much screen time, I think that was on purpose, as this movie was a passing the torch to our new main characters that I feel also do a great job, even though they can never recreate the brilliance that the OGs have. I love how everything connects with the original Scream through family ties, and how those characters are also replaced with a new generation such as Mindy for Randy. And they do all of that, all while it still being a great sequel tying back to the previous events of the last 4 films. I love how we are brought back to the original third act location at Stu Macher's house. I loved ending the movie there in the first film, and I still love it now. The killer reveals were pretty awesome, and Amber even caught me off guard rather than Richie, who I feel gave himself away, especially after the whole beer incident. The gore was turned up heavy in this film, and I loved the kills. They didn't have to be too creative, they were just so detailed and had great effects that it kinda made me feel it.
Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
Overall, a great movie, and not just one of my favorite Scream movies, but also one of my favorite movies in recent years. Especially when it comes to requels, I love how they followed requel rules while also continuing the story and adding their own twists, which for me makes it my favorite requel of all time. Let me know y'all thoughts on this movie and any other video ideas you would like to see next down in the comments below. Please drop a like and hit that subscribe button, or you will catch yourself in a hospital all alone amidst a murder spree. Come on, doctors, let's get to it. Thank y'all so much for watching, and have a blessed day. Peace!